Sources tell CNN federal investigators are preparing to bring accusers of Sean Diddy Combs before a federal grand jury. This is seen as a clear sign the Department of Justice could be moving to indict the disgraced music mogul.
We are learning now that federal investigators are in possession of video footage that was taken inside of Combs' residence.
Jennifer Lopez has officially fled the country. Reports are coming in fast, and it all seems to be connected to Diddy.
Jennifer Lopez has officially fled the country.
Puffy Combs and Jennifer Lopez, probably one of the most glamorous couples just in history.
Sean Combs and his girlfriend Jennifer Lopez left the scene of the shooting. They were arrested a short time later when a handgun was recovered from their vehicle.
He has people followed, he has people watched, he does all kinds of, he's a piece of shit.
Jennifer, she definitely a bad chick, but I was still in love with Kim, you know what I'm saying? So I couldn't marry Jennifer if I was still in love with Kim.
He will find me if he hasn't already.
In a stunning turn of events, CNN has dropped a bombshell with newly uncovered footage featuring Jennifer Lopez and Diddy, sending social media into a frenzy. The unexpected revelations have fans buzzing, with speculation running wild about their past. Once hailed as the ultimate power couple, J.Lo and Diddy were icons of style and ambition. However, whispers from insiders suggest their relationship wasn't as picture-perfect as it seemed. Behind the scenes, Diddy reportedly wielded significant influence over Jennifer's career decisions, shaping her path in ways that might not have been entirely her own choice. NEXT Jennifer Lopez and Sean Diddy Combs weren't just another celebrity couple. They were at the center of a media storm following a devastating nightclub tragedy. The incident, which resulted in several deaths and injuries, forever altered the trajectory of their lives and careers. This high-profile case thrust the pair into an intense legal battle and relentless public scrutiny, with their every move dissected by the press. For Jennifer and Diddy, it wasn't just a personal crisis. It became a defining chapter in their rise to fame, marking one of the most challenging and closely watched moments in their journey through Hollywood's unforgiving spotlight.
Around Diddy, did you ever see him put his hands on Jennifer Lopez?
Well, he didn't do any violence to Miss J.Lo. That's why I didn't see any violence. It's a different breed, bruh. He wasn't going to risk himself like that. And plus, a lot of people didn't like him. J.Lo mother didn't like him. Benny Medina didn't like him. If he would have ever touched Miss Lopez in any kind of aggressive way, she would have said something. Man, listen to me. The whole Bronx would have been on Puff. It's a different class. He knew that she was an actress, she was a singer. He did put her on a pedestal, but he still was seeing Kim. So I don't think that she had those experiences. People only do what you let them do. If he would have did that to her, he would only had one time. You see, when he ran out the club and left her after that shooting at China, she didn't want to be with him no more.
He was larger than life, but at first I didn't like him at all. You know, I didn't. I thought he was like, you know, ick. I didn't like him because, you know, Sean and I were very different that way. You know, I was very like family oriented and a kind of a, you know, the married type. You know, I was actually, when we first worked together in the video, I was married, even though I was going through problems, nobody knew that, you know what I mean? And I wanted my family, and even though at that time it was not going well, you know what I mean? That was who I was, that's how I was raised.
The two kept in touch over the next few years, and when Jennifer left her marriage, they became much more than just friends.
Once I got to know him, and, you know, we became friends first, and then we developed this bond. We both understood where we were at that time in our lives, and we both knew nobody else understood exactly how we felt. So sitting there, being handcuffed to a bench, and you know, I do remember feeling the comfort of someone caring about you enough that, you know, they just wanted to make it okay and couldn't believe that we were in this situation and how did this happen.
Always dressed to impress. MTV couldn't get enough of them. Remember TRL? Anywhere they went, paparazzi followed. This was a different time. Everyone wanted to know what they were going to wear. Puffy's white party, loved up, and everyone was like, OMG, they're so cute. Then December 1999, they go to a party in New York. There are pew-pews involved. They both get arrested. Later, J.Lo was off the hook. I vividly remember people were like, goodness gracious, poor J.Lo, she's with a bad boy, they should break up. But they didn't. They went to the Grammys together. She wore this Versace gown. Everyone lost their minds. They coordinated wearing matching white outfits at the MTV Video Music Awards. Then it came all crashing down. Valentine's Day 2001, they announced they broke up. 7 months later, she married Chris Judd. And then they divorced after 9 months. Diddy and Kim Porter reconciled, although maybe they were seeing each other in between, and who knows who else he was.
The incident left behind lasting consequences, shaping their legacies and offering a stark reminder of the darker side of fame. NEXC. E! News has reached out to Diddy's legal team for a response to Shin's accusations, but no comment has been provided so far. This comes on the heels of Diddy's recent arrest on serious charges, including racketeering, conspiracy, and facilitating illegal activities. While he has pleaded not guilty, the court has denied him bail as he prepares for trial. NEXC. In a surprising turn of events, Natalia Rune,
Days of deliberations, the jury now appears to be focusing on the gun possession and bribery charges against Sean Puffy Combs. This afternoon, jurors sent the judge 2 notes, one of which asked for a transcript of a phone message Combs left Wardell Fenderson, once his driver, now the prosecution's star witness. The jurors also wanted to hear a readback of testimony relating to Combs' former girlfriend, actress-singer Jennifer Lopez, who was in the Navigator when it was stopped by police. An officer testified that everyone in the SUV was ordered to put their hands on the vehicle, but Lopez walked away, saying she was going home. As she was being detained, a gun was discovered in the vehicle.
a survivor of the infamous nightclub shooting, has broken her silence after decades of staying out of the public eye. Speaking out for the first time, she described the incident as more than a tragic accident. It was, she claims, part of a massive cover-up. Rune is now calling for the case to be reopened, alleging that Jennifer Lopez lied during the trial to protect her then-boyfriend, Diddy. Her explosive accusations have reignited interest in the decades-old case, raising questions about what really happened that night. NEXC. After splitting from Diddy, Jennifer Lopez's love life remained headline news, especially her 2002 engagement to Ben Affleck, marked by that unforgettable pink diamond.
At that point, a sergeant on the scene ordered everyone who was in the vehicle under arrest.
This is someone who destroyed my life.
Former rapper Moses Shine Barrow is speaking out in the wake of Sean Diddy Combs' arrest and federal indictment. Once Diddy's bad boy protege, Moses served nearly a decade in prison for a 1999 nightclub shooting in New York, where 3 people were injured. Diddy attended a party at the club with his then-girlfriend Jennifer Lopez and had also been arrested and accused of being involved in the shooting. However, during his trial, he said he fired the gun in self-defense and was acquitted of all charges. J.Lo was also arrested at the scene and was held for about 14 hours but was released without being charged. Moses, who is now the leader of the opposition in the Belize House of Representatives, claims he took the fall for Diddy and is now reflecting on his incarceration, calling Diddy someone who, quote, destroyed my life. In a press conference, the politician details their past relationship.
When I was a 18-year-old kid, just wanting to do nothing other than make my mother proud and make Belize proud and do what all of us want to do, be recognized for our talent and take over the world. I was defending him, and he turned around and called witnesses to testify against me, and he contributed. He pretty much sent me to prison. So that is the context by which you must always describe that relationship. Yes, I forgave. Let us not lose sight of what the cold hard facts are. This was not someone who I vacationed with and who he and I enjoyed this great intimate relationship of brotherhood. This is someone who destroyed my life.
Moses, however, admits that in recent years he only reunited with the bad boy mogul for investment purposes.
And for the better interest of Belize, because he was in a position at that time to give scholarships and to maybe invest, I would not deny attempting to bring the investment to Belize and to bring the contributions to education to Belize, but don't distort it as if, he and I were bombali. This is someone that destroyed my life.
E! News has reached out to Diddy's lawyer for comment about Shine's accusations, but hasn't heard back. The former rapper's comments come after Diddy was arrested on charges of racketeering, conspiracy, and transportation to engage in prostitution. Diddy has pleaded not guilty to all the charges, with a judge denying bail ahead of his trial.
Diddy and J.Lo were at a nightclub called Hot Chocolate in Midtown's Club, New York, back in December 1999. They were actually celebrating the release of a rapper's new album. This rapper in particular was signed to Diddy, so it was one of his mentees. I mean, he was making some money off this album, so they were there to show face. But as J.Lo and Diddy were walking out of the club at 2:20 in the morning, I guess Diddy had a champagne bottle and he knocked someone's drink out of their hand. This person is known as Matthew Allen, also known as Scar on the streets. It ended up escalating to an argument between these two men, and I guess they were flexing on whoever had more money, something stupid that led to them shooting out each other. Actually, 3 people in the club were injured and 1 woman was shot in the face. Ouch.
But on December 27th, 1999, the high-profile couple drew some unwanted attention. Around 11 p.m., Sean and Jennifer headed out to Club New York in Manhattan for a night of partying. Their entourage included newly signed rapper Jamal Shine Barrow and Puffy's bodyguard, Anthony Wolf Jones. According to court documents, Combs traded insults inside the club with a man named Scar. The man allegedly threw money in Puffy's face. Suddenly, a fight broke out and gunshots were fired.
Though fans hoped they were forever, fame drove them apart. Nearly 2 decades later, their 2021 reunion stunned the world, reigniting their iconic romance. But whispers of tension and arguments soon fueled rumors of a breakup, hinting that even Hollywood's greatest love stories have their limits. NEXC-VOIC. Amid rumors of a troubled marriage with Ben Affleck, shocking new claims have surfaced about Jennifer Lopez's past with Diddy.
That it was P. Diddy who shot you. I think you even said it to the doctor that night, right?
I said it immediately. I literally watched them pull out the guns. I've had a clear point of view. For God's sake, I got shot in my nose. I was facing them directly. I watched everything occur and have described it, vehemently to all parties involved. I think in our society, we have respectability politics. There are people who want to be adjacent to power or celebrity or money, and there's a hierarchy of respectability. Because his name was more notable, he was believed rather than a victim who gave a first-hand account. By the grace of God, I survived.
Yeah, and this was also a different time. Things were very, very different in 1999. Did you sense right from the beginning that no one believed you?
Well, I don't think that was on my mind. I think first and foremost, I'm a mother. I'm a mother of 3. At the time, I was a mother of 2. And just surviving and getting home to my children was of the utmost importance to me. Being whole and being able to mother them. That was, primary on my list. I didn't have any reason to believe that to think that someone would not believe me. But as things unfolded, it was a very short period of time where I realized that's what in fact was happening.
So, as I mentioned, Diddy has denied being the one who pulled the trigger. But this is interesting, Natanya. Rodney Jones, also known as Little Rod, is now suing Diddy for harassment. That's something that's been in the headlines for the last couple of days. And there's a very interesting quote from his lawsuit that relates back to you that I want to read because it sort of ties all of this together. And it says, Jones claims in the lawsuit, Mr. Combs shared that he was responsible for the shooting in the nightclub in New York City with rapper Shine. He shared that artist and Mr. Combs' girlfriend at the time, Jennifer Lopez, aka J.Lo, carried the gun into the club for him and passed him the gun after he got into an altercation with another individual. So now you have Little Rod in this new lawsuit saying that Diddy told him that he actually was responsible. What did you think when you read that?
Well, I was incensed for a number of reasons. First and foremost, for the past quarter of a century, he's vehemently denied that he was responsible, even though I knew wholeheartedly, and as so many others who were in the club that night, we all knew he was responsible. A lot of people were afraid for their safety, justifiably so. I mean, the history that has occurred in the last 25 years proves that they were justified in being afraid. But I wasn't afraid. I wasn't afraid because I still bear I have 9 bullet fragments remaining in my face. So when I saw that count 128, that's actually count 128 of the lawsuit. When I saw that on a podcast that was analyzing all of the counts, I knew I had to speak. I had no intention of going viral. I was just getting it out of me. I have a mantra, having my say. There was a time a few years ago where I had a talk radio show called Having My Say. And that's very important to me. I believe everyone is entitled to have their say. Far too often we don't hear people or listen. And so I just wanted to get it out of me because it was like an audible, deep breath that I needed to take. And I made the TikTok video not expecting it to go viral. Went to pick up my daughter, came back home, and she's like, and I literally told her, I'm like, well, you're probably going to see it tomorrow. I made a video on TikTok. Maybe 100 people will see it. By the time we got home, she said, Mommy, it was 70,000 people. And I could not believe it. But it was time. It was time for me to speak. I'd stayed quiet for 25 years. It was my time to speak.
We know what happened, and we hope, that it all turns out the way it's supposed to.
You had to be disturbed by a report in the New York paper yesterday.
Yeah.
It said an eyewitness along 8th Avenue as your car drove by saw a female hand throwing a gun out of the car.
Ridiculous. I don't even
You're the
want to
only
address
female
it.
in the car. You don't want to talk about
Ridiculous.
it? You very confident that Puffy will be found innocent in this trial?
Yes, I will.
You're going to testify?
If they need me.
But you haven't been asked
I
yet.
haven't been asked since.
Involving you getting shot at that club be reopened?
Absolutely. Absolutely. The irony is there was a grand jury. We all had to go and speak at the grand jury. J.Lo testified at the grand jury, as did many other people. It needs to be reopened because if that is in fact the case, she carried the gun in and she lied to the grand jury. It needs to be reopened. My shooting, ironically, the night I went into the club, I had a comb in my pocketbook called a rat tail comb. People in the beauty industry or people that use that type of comb would be all too familiar. It's just a comb. It can't do anything to harm anyone. And I had the very security officer who lied during the trial, Sharice, I forget her last name, but she literally took it from me and kind of pushed me like, you can't take this in. This is a weapon. To let other people in with guns. If someone had combed me 24 years ago, I'd be fine. You wouldn't even know my name. But having been shot by someone that was allowed to come into the gun when I couldn't bring in a comb, I would absolutely unequivocally like the case reopened. It needs to be reopened. And the saddest part for me is, had people taken what I said more seriously and listened more intently, 24 years worth of people probably would not have had to suffer.
Now here's everything we know about their split. The singer filed for divorce from the actor on August 20th after more than 2 years of marriage, according to the filing obtained by multiple outlets. However, J.Lo reveals in the court documents that the couple actually broke up almost 4 months ago, listing their date of separation as April 26th. Just 10 days later, Jennifer raised eyebrows when she stepped out at the 2024 Met Gala solo, sparking rumors that she and Ben were having issues. At the time, his rep shared that he was in Los Angeles to film The Accountant 2. Elsewhere in her divorce documents, J.Lo asks the court to deny spousal support to both her and Ben, per TMZ. A source close to Jennifer also tells NBC News the couple did not have a prenup. As for why J.Lo decided to wait 4 months to officially file for divorce, she may have been holding out for a significant date, as August 20th is her and Ben's 2-year wedding anniversary. The pair hosted a lavish wedding in Georgia in 2022, inviting friends like Matt Damon and his wife Luciana, director Kevin Smith, and actor Jason Mewes to celebrate their love. However, it wasn't the first time saying I do. The duo, who ended their first engagement in 2003 before reconciling in 2021, tied the knot in Las Vegas a month prior. Regarding the date of their breakup, April 26th of 2024, J.Lo was spotted that same day in New York City leaving her apartment. Since then, J.Lo has sold her 4-bedroom condo in the Big Apple, finalizing the deal for $23 million in July, while Ben closed escrow on his new 5-bedroom home in LA for $20.5 million. As for their Beverly Hills mansion, the former couple's 12-bedroom, 24-bathroom estate, which they purchased together last year, is on the market for $68 million. Neither Ben nor J.Lo have publicly commented on the divorce filing, which came after months of breakup speculation from the public. E! News has reached out to Ben and Jen's reps for comment, but has not heard back.
The source is Mr. Suge Knight. In his Collect Call series, he spoke about the fact that he believes Ben Affleck divorced J.Lo. The reason this all happened so quickly was because the FBI gave Affleck tapes of J.Lo from after the Diddy raids. Now, from a timeline perspective, it's not that far off. It's possible. However, obviously, we have no proof of this. This is a theory. Let's listen to what Suge Knight says, and then we're going to give you an update on things, and I'm going to tell you why I actually am humoring this theory, because it could be possible. Here's Suge Knight.
They go raid Puffy's house, and they get all these videos of J.Lo doing this and J.Lo doing that. And they know the fact that J.Lo lied and said that the gun was Shine or whatever, and took that man to prison and destroyed his life, and she knew it was tough. I'm quite sure they probably called and the FBI gave respect. The courtesy call of Ben Affleck. It's a white man who's got in the white world.
He's a white man who's got respect in a white world. Would the FBI really call and risk all this? Maybe to get J.Lo to sweat. Honestly, it's possible.
So they say, we want to show you some things. It's about your wife. When he sees that her and Puffy was doing and who they were doing it with, I'm quite sure they gave his ass those tapes. And I'm quite sure he can never look at her the same. I'm quite sure they heading for a divorce. Because, you know, that's a man who had a good life. Great parents, don't spend a lot of money, ain't tripping out paparazzi. He's living his life. He got his own team. She done brought all the extra that motherfucker. He won't out. He stayed married to J.Lo, he'd be broke. Instead of just doing movies, he'd be doing Yum Yum Donuts commercials. Next thing he'd be doing is Jack in the Box commercials.
It's possible. Look, it's from Suge Knight. He's bitter. Obviously, he's out there in prison, but the man does have some knowledge, and I can't completely negate this theory. It's a long shot, but the timing also makes sense.
Allegations suggest she may have witnessed or known about a violent altercation between them, followed by a disturbing accusation involving a 13-year-old. The questions now loom. Was J.Lo aware of Diddy's alleged actions? And if so, why has she stayed silent all these years? NEXCVOIC.
About J.Lo staying so quiet about this. Of course, she hasn't been with Sean Combs for many, many years, but she is his most high-profile, most well-known romantic interest. And she was with him the night that this woman, who claims she was 13, she claims that she was assaulted by Sean Combs at this after party.
And Jeanette, J.Lo wants nothing to do with Diddy. People normally don't want to have anything to do with their ex, but especially here. I mean, obviously they broke up more than 20 years ago, but both in terms of the courtroom, potentially being named in a civil lawsuit or being a witness in his criminal trial is the last thing she wants to do, especially when she's campaigning right now for the vice president and trying to get her elected.
Yeah, she certainly has been out there on the campaign trail for Kamala Harris. We saw her last week. She actually got tearful when she was up there on stage campaigning. But we see that clip of her. She's signing autographs somewhere, and somebody says, do you have a comment on the whole Diddy thing? And she just kind of walks off. She's like, I'm over this. And you can see it in her face. She wants nothing to do with it. But should she possibly say something? I mean, she was with him back when this whole nightclub shooting happened. I mean, she was with him for a time, almost 2 years or so, maybe a little longer than that. I mean, she may have seen some stuff. We just don't know.
She may very well be a witness, and there's a possibility, if you believe the allegations, that she witnessed a of a 13-year-old girl. So the question is, what is she going to do? And I'm going to tell you what her legal and PR team is telling her, which is keep your mouth shut. Do not address it at all. No one wants anything to do with Diddy and his legal problems. This isn't a Michael Jackson situation where people are going to come out in defense of Diddy. No one is doing that. I mean, essentially, he's been convicted in the court of public opinion. And I think J.Lo, given her previous romantic relationship, and of course, she was involved in his previous criminal case, that nightclub shooting in New York. Obviously, that resulted in an acquittal. But I think given where she is in her personal and professional life, she's staying as far away from this as she possibly can.
It does feel that way, actually.
Yeah. I'm sure if you go to Diddy's house, it probably feels real weird. Probably feels weird walking around that house. Probably like, what happened here?
Yeah.
I bet there's some memories in that house.
Sounds rough, man.
Well, it's just amazing how many people in the Diddy party list that are supporting Kamala. Too.
Yeah, seriously, it's like insane.
Publicly, openly, all in.
Yes, it's like J.Lo was like his ex-girlfriend.
Okay, guys, open up the project. Guys, don't lean on the mat. Don't lean. She'll sign. Don't lean. She'll sign. Don't lean. You guys get under control. She'll sign.
Do you have any comments about P. Diddy, the allegations?
Go back and look. Don't lean. Don't lean. She'll sign. Don't lean. You guys should sign.
What do you think? Will J.Lo's career take a hit or thrive after Diddy's arrest and this unfolding scandal? Share your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you stay updated on all the latest Hollywood buzz. Until next time, take care and keep it real.